where the money. And so everything is going great until they're finally done fishing and they turn their boat around to go back home. And then out of nowhere, kabang, a massive storm hits and the boat starts to fill up with water. And Pinata panics and he's using a bucket to get the water out of the boat as Salvador tries to steer through the massive waves. And finally, luckily, after a while, the storm starts to die down. And Salvador, he can see land. They're about 2 hours away from the shore. And that is when, boom, the boat's engine starts sputtering and it dies. So Salvador pulls out his two-way radio and he calls his boss and he's like, "Help, my engine is dead." And the boss asks for his location, but their GPS has stopped working. And then to make it worse, the storm starts building up again and it's getting stronger and stronger and it's tossing the boat around. Sometimes the waves are raising them up 3 stories high before the boat drops. And Salvador realizes that the 1,100 pounds of fish they caught is making the boat unstable. So they just dump it all out and they just keep throwing anything not useful overboard to lighten the load, like extra ice and extra fuel. And then the two-way radio dies. And by this point, Salvador and Pinata have been bailing water.
In the Bay Area, it's a great day for sailing. The weather is nice, and a great day for the NBA playoffs to continue. The Chase Center is going to be loud and packed tonight, hoping for a celebration of a series-clinching victory while the Rockets look to send the series to a Game 7. As we welcome you to NBA Courtside, sponsored by Pronamel. The Western Conference playoffs, Denver and the LA Clippers still have a Game 7 to play, while Oklahoma City and Minnesota await their next opponent. Games 3 and 4 both went to the Golden State Warriors. Then a Game 7 would be on Sunday in Houston, if necessary. In that Game 5 victory in Houston, Buddy Hield is guarding Jalen Green. Draymond Green trying to help Şengün with the throwdown. Draymond Green sets the screen. Curry right back to Green, kicks it out. Butler, the fake. Draymond Green settles, fires, and hits a three. Dylan Brooks, the offensive rebound, kept alive by Şengün. Van Vliet open in the corner. That's good. Van Vliet has been absolutely scorching the last couple of games. Gravity. Şengün left open. And throws it down. Draymond Green. Brooks lets it fly. He lets the pass fly. Butler inside, lays it up and in. He also tried to draw a foul on that.
Now, if this team believes they have a chance to win a championship, Draymond has to get these things under control so he can play later as Steph knocks down the little floater.
Quiet him down a little bit after the last couple of games. Now on the switch, Curry guarding him. Van Vliet finds some room, fires away, shot won't go. Draymond Green tips it, but right to Thompson and Şengün. Thompson's so active on the boards.
Boy, don't you believe Draymond didn't slap that? It looked like he went to tip it.
Kaminsky's come in. Curry fires away, knocks down the three. Thompson spinning, tough fall-away shot. Green, touch pass Curry, and up to Kaminsky. Alley-up to Payton. Now is 15 for 15 for the series. Booty walks right up into a three and nails it.
Now he walks right in the first time he touches it. There are no wasted minutes in the NBA.
Oh, no, and Steve Kerr is laughing. He's like, okay, I guess you're feeling it, young fella.
Oh, Van Vliet feeling it as well. Jabari Smith pumped away. Kaminsky and Butler in the area. That's 5 turnovers already for the Rockets. Butler inside the post and the finish. Wow. Offensive rebounding team in the NBA regular season and so far in the playoffs. Curry turns it over. That's the 4th turnover. Green down the other end, throws it down.
Elimination on the road is different than facing it at home. Just how do you think your guys have met the moment so far?
I think we've been okay. Not taking care of the ball the best. We got 5 turnovers, kind of ignited their fast break, but do the same thing. Got us here last game. Not playing the crowd. Play.
Jalen, what's it going to take to get him going?
Well, at times, he got to be equal. They're double teaming him. If he can find it in the pocket, find it to our numbers behind it, we'll be good there. But you have to take advantage of the opportunity, be aggressive, and not second guess it.
I thank you, man.
Jump hook shot off the mark, ball tipped. The new 14 on the shot clock. Holiday wastes no time, nails a 3-pointer.
But when you're getting second and third looks at it, those percentages start to increase.
And the Rockets 5 offensive rebounds already. They got caught passing there. Butler spots Draymond Green. Shangoon 4 for 9 to start. He's the leading scorer with 8 points already. Nice feed inside, and Adams with a flush. And then Thompson looking, searching, continues to dribble. Kicks it back out, Eason. Pocket 7. Nice maneuver and lays it up and in. Tari Eason with a beautiful move. Can't hit the 3. Green now 1 for 6 from the field. Here comes Butler. Moody tries a 3. That's good. One of those defensive grinds again. Thompson drives inside, kicks it out. Green. Eason, plenty of time. Nails another one. Second three-pointer. He's 3 for 3 from the field. Here's Curry. Finds some room. Three-pointer. Knocks it down. Steph Curry is second three-pointer. Van Fleet back in. Makes the move. Pulls up. Nice feed. Thompson blocked by Green. Draymond Green, the rejection. Curry comes the other way. Curry against Brooks. Curry on the drive, trying to draw contact. He does. But they're going to wave it off. There's a foul. Jason Doble is waving it off. Are they going to count it? Yes, now they are. Short arms it a bit. Green the rebound. Curry pushes the pace. Curry sets, fires.
Dang, this nigga, dog.
From now, the game is tied.
Dog, this nigga Steph Curry
From the
fucking
Warriors
snagged.
after the Rockets threw a punch.
Yeah, this zone has flummoxed Houston in this last couple minutes.
Nice feed inside. Van Fleet, 6 on a 24. Slips, stumbles, almost lost it. Gets it to Thompson. Thompson with 2 on the shot clock. Jumper's good. And then Thompson puts Houston up by 7. Final seconds. Butler gets it off and draws it.
Ew. Yeah, damn.
Butler wants some contact.
Fucking Jimmy Butler.
Play.
If this is a possession ball game late, obviously you would think the advantage goes to Golden State.
No, it's their second elimination game as Jimmy Butler starts off. Like, how much do you think of that during the course of the game, that this is it, we could be out?
I think leading into it, as you see Van Fleet knock down that 3.
Beal has to pick up his dribble. Shot clock at 4. Butler trying to make something out of it. Kicks it out. Peyton just gets it off in time and hits the 3 as the shot clock expires. Brooks coming off his best game of the series, but quiet here tonight. Shot clock winding down again. Butler gets inside. Blocked by Adams. Stephen Adams does it again. His second rejection. Van Vliet pulls up, nails a 3. Fred Van Vliet now with 18 points.
Back to the zone they go here, Houston.
Curry gets away, fires, connects. Steph Curry with his 4th three-pointer.
God damn.
Rockets have really extended their perimeter defense all game. Butler goes inside, kicks it out the post. Shot clock at 4 again. Another time, the timer winding down, and Butler gets another. The consistent call all season long, regular season and playoffs. The landing area. Shingle.
And 1.
Count it. And 1. Curry. Shingle. Nearly throws it away, but Butler was right there. Pajemski off the bounce. Curry, catch, fire, hits. Another 3 for Steph Curry. His kick to the game, and it's into the hands of Van Vliet. Terrific hustle from both teams. Smith steps back and hits the three-pointer. Checks his feet, and Jabari Smith knocks it down. Adams comes up with another offensive rebound. Holding on. Eason kicks it out. Van Vliet. Smith tries another 3. Hits another 3. Jabari Smith, another big shot. 8 points in 9 minutes off the bench for Smith. Butler, beautiful pass. And Moody, an easy finish. Butler, post off the bounce. Butler fakes a 3, has to put it up, and knocks it down. One-handed shot from Jimmy Butler. Rockets playing a good, smart game, try and keep their season alive. Van Vliet gets inside, flips it up, and gets the bounce. 20 points for Fred Van Vliet. Dangerous pass, but Butler gets it. Moody with 6 on the 24. Draymond Green, backdoor to Curry, gets inside, layup is good.
It's a 2-point game, but what gave you problems offensively in that third quarter?
I'm sorry?
What gave you problems offensively in that third quarter?
I didn't mind the quarter. We won the quarter. We're in a pretty good
spot going into the fourth. They're running a lot of zone, but we're getting some good shots against it.
I heard you tell your guys earlier in the game, we've been here many times, we're fine. In what ways must that experience show up for you here in the fourth?
Just back to the basics, right? Take care of the ball, defend without fouling, and rebound.
Thank you, Philly.
All right, Lisa. Great. Van Vliet knocks down the three and the foul to start the fourth. Van Vliet does it again, and the lead back up to 5 with a 5 of 7 with the knuckleball tonight from 3. As Green off the bounce, goes inside. A lot of contact, stays with the play and banks it home. Warriors push. Butler gets in the paint, finds Draymond Green, got it to go. Lead cut to 4 for Houston. Butler looks up at the shot clock, makes his move, drives inside, running layup, swatted out of bounds by Adams. His third block of the game. Butler guarding Şengün, backing in, turns. Wild shot, he gets it to go. Highly contested, and Alperen Şengün now with 18 points.
There's no anxiety and a little disappointment.
Amen Thompson drives in, sneaks it in with the left hand. Gorgeous move from Amen Thompson. Butler battling for the rebound, throws it right to Şengün. Back to Van Vliet, puts up. That's good. Fred Van Vliet knocks it down. Largest lead of the game. Golden State 1 for 12 from the field here in the fourth quarter.
This is
Wow.
107-91. Curry trying to get on track. That one goes down. Just a second bucket made here in the fourth for Golden State. Can't get it to go. Curry looks to push. Curry inside. Podziemski lays it up and banks it home with 2.5 remaining. 14th team. They still got a ways to go. Got to win a game 7 against an experienced team, but they absolutely dominated Golden State here in the fourth quarter. Spencer drives and finishes.
I don't understand how long this process starts. There's so many players that used to come into the league at 20, 21 after 3-4 years of college. Sometimes it takes time. And so
what will happen in game 7? It's anybody's guess the way this series has gone, but a lot of surprises. But right now, the Rockets feeling good and feeling confident as they're going to head home. And that'll do it. This opening round playoff series is tied at 3 games apiece. The veterans were the stars, but they had plenty of help.
All right, man. Yeah, they got their ass whooped, bro.
Do you remember that time Eminem got beat up? And
They got their ass fucking beat bad. Not bad, but they shouldn't have lost, dog. They should have never lost. Golden State had it, and then who knows after that? Oops, my bad, y'all. But who knows after that? I just fucking dropped my shit. Oh man, so many fucking phones. It's ridiculous, dog. I don't even be caring about half of them, but we're going to see the reaction of the game, though. That's the next thing we're going to watch, you know?
Western Conference first round series is coming back to Texas after Houston goes to San Francisco and knocks off Steph and the home team. Early on, Curry's thumb looking okay, and the hops is pretty spicy as well. Turnover's a problem. You might have heard Steve Kerr a moment ago mention that. Jalen Green on the outlet. Rockets up 4 after the first quarter. Off the miss down low, kind of a wild scramble, ends up in the hands of Dylan Brooks. Rockets up 10.
Bum for real.
Draymond Green
He's a fucking bum
finds
for real.
Curry off the Podziemski screen. He buries that 3. Warriors within 8. Next Warriors possession. Curry draws the foul, 3 the hard way. Remarkable as he switches to the shooting hand. You see one official saying no, the other official says no, that's bucket good. Now 3-point game. Curry, clean look. That's cash. 11-0 run. on the back of Steph Curry. But the Rockets respond. They showed a great deal of poise all night long. Amen Thompson hits there. But then Butler draws the foul and hits. They initially said it was a 3. His foot's on the line, but still, Butler's ability to hit off-platform, off-balance shots is amazing. Made it a 5-point game at the half. First play of the fourth quarter. This was a play Steve Kerr said felt like a game changer. It goes from a 2-point lead to 6 in one fell swoop. Van Vliet hits the 3, and he's fouled. Alperon Şengün. This guy has an absolute load down low. Butler and Draymond trying to stop it. They can't. Now it's Thompson. You know he's Euro-stepping. Actually, he's not. He's just attacking the rim. Right through Quentin Post, who is obviously a 3-point threat, but they were certainly hunting him on defense. Off the block here, Butler trying to save it. Şengün, Fred Van Vliet, gimme all 3 of these. He had 29 to go with 8 boards and 8 assists, and this lead has grown to 15. This is another story of the fourth. Golden State against the zone had a ton of looks. They missed 14 of 15 shots at one point. Meanwhile, Steven Adams, who Van Vliet called a caveman, was out there playing grown man basketball, season high in minutes. Rockets force game 7. Drake, just shy of midnight on the East Coast. This is Sports Center. I am joined now by Fred Van Vliet, who was spectacular in game 6 as Houston forces a game 7 Sunday night. Fred, congratulations on the victory. I'm going to get to your role in it in a minute, but I want to start with the fourth quarter. You're in a building against a team that's got championship DNA. That place has seen a lot of big nights. You're up 2. You guys put the clamps on them in the fourth quarter. What was the key in those final 12 minutes to forcing game 7?
Just make everything tough. Obviously, we know what they bring to the table. So you want to make everything tough, contest everything. We got the double big lineup in the back to clean up at the rim and rebound, and then on the other end, stay in attack mode. So I just think our youth and our athleticism can wear on them over the course of the game, and we were able to have some success late.
Speaking of the double big, I didn't know that I was going to ask you about Steven Adams, but the big fella tonight, a season high in minutes. He made a bunch of his free throws, but how do you quantify, Fred, what that man brings to the table? You're young. That man's played more than 70 playoff games. Okay. You all right?
That's the youth right there.
Tell him don't hurt the man that just scored 29. Back to what it is. Man. Yes. What is it that Steven brings to the group as best as you can describe it?
Man, he's the ultimate man. He's just an enforcer down there. He's like a big caveman in this era of small basketball. He's one of the old big, just roughing everybody up. Our man, he's impacting us on another level, historical level, honestly. Made his free throws tonight. And yeah, we're gonna play him till he dies out there. So we gotta get him some rest, get big fella back, get him hydrated, get him a big steak, and let him get some sleep. We gotta do it again.
That sounds like good caveman recipe. Now, as for you, Fred. Game 4 is 25, Game 5 is 26, Game 6 is 29. I don't know if something's clicked. I don't know if you guys found something on tape or if it's just sort of your own championship DNA. What has happened over these last 3 games for you?
Just making shots, continue to be aggressive, find a rhythm, understanding, trying to take what the defense is giving. And then once I'm in the rhythm, obviously, I'm able to have some success. Teammates taking good screens, finding me.
And these 2 teams could get to the finals. That's what's great. Either one of them could be in the finals and you wouldn't be surprised.
Meantime, in Detroit tonight, Cade Cunningham and the Pistons trying to stay alive against Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. Talk about a good start. Jackrabbit start by the Knicks as Brunson hits the fadeaway. Karl Anthony Towns inside.
Early on, he was tough.
OG Anunoby, everybody getting involved. OG for 3. And then Miles McBride. Now that's actually Brunson.
That's okay.
For the transition 3. And then actually this is Miles McBride.
Ernie, we know you're ahead of yourself all the time.
37-23 after
God
1.
damn, they started off like that.
The second quarter happened and Malik Beasley caught fire, had 18 points.
18
quarter alone.
One more. Catch it. That's a tough shot. Catch it. He didn't have his feet set at all. Oh. He played great as well.
Jalen Duren had himself a good series.
Yeah, man. He did.
showed a lot of folks what he can do. They got a good young team in Detroit.
Those are tough shots.
Beasley again tied the game at 49. And then up top for GA.
There's a lot of talk about Karl Anthony Towns, and he's an all-star, rightfully so. But their second best player for me, especially in this series, is OG Anunoby. He's just terrific on both ends of the floor.
Cade Cunningham gave them their first lead of the night. And then it's Beasley again.
Shimmy, shimmy, ya, shimmy, yo, shimmy, yeah.
I'll tell you what the Lord Antoine Walker, I'll see you.
Yeah, the Antoine. Antoine said, why you shoot so many threes, Antoine? Because there ain't no fours.
61-59 Pistons at the half. But the Knicks go 37-24 on them in the third quarter.
You saw it on the screen.
Again.
Captain Clutch.
You know, Knicks did
good pass.
Mikal Bridges inside.
Knicks did a great job of keeping their poise.
You want to see a great dunk.
That was a great defensive play.
You want to see a great dunk. I love this.
Oh,
A block and a post.
I'll take the block.
Yeah.
You know, the dunk is great, but that block. Oh, my gosh.
And a post.
That's lame.
21-8 run by the Knicks.
Good D.
Brunson from the foul line falling back. New York up 11 after 3. And when this happened, I thought, you know what? This thing's over.
I agree. That's when things start going Brunson's way, and then he just continued to ride the momentum.
Well, here comes a 13-0 run by the Pistons, Shaq.
Yes, the Pistons did a great job also of keeping their poise. They just kept fighting.
Asar Thompson, part of that 13-0 run.
Look at him.
They would take a 112-105 lead, and it wasn't over.
Oh, here comes that man. That's bully ball right there.
He's a top bucket and the foul.
Detroit challenged that, but the call stands.
And if you notice, all of his baskets aren't created equal.
Yeah, look at this one. Nearly falls on the baseline. Keeps his feet. 112-110.
Brunson out this bitch.
But here's a
Thompson played great
shot
D, so
clock,
they're like, okay, this will be a real test down the stretch, and you'll see why.
There was a shot clock violation there. And then Towns fouls out of the game. Detroit takes a 113-111 lead, but there is Bridges with the tip. And we're tied at 113. Cade Cunningham missed on one end.
You said got him that time,
on
but you
the
got
other.
him then. Oh,
Man, was that impressive.
That was a hell of a snatchback.
And the clutch player of the year does it again.
Wow.
So, New York up 3.
Wow.
40-point night for Jalen Brunson. One more chance for Detroit. And you hate to see it end this way. You'd love to see him get a shot at it, Jalen.
You got to get a shot, and get a shot to the guy that made 300 threes this year.
Off the hands of Malik Beasley. Visions of Gary Trent in the Milwaukee game the other night with the turnover late.
Yeah, he was going to pump that slide step and send the thing in overtime if he'd have caught it.
116, 113.
That was a hell of a game, bro. I'm mad I missed that
finish for the Knicks, who have won their 10th game by 3 points or less this year, 10-4 in that department. They take the series in 6. And after the game, Stephanie Reddy got 101 on the East Coast. As we bring you inside the NBA,
we're going to stay here till LeBron speaks.
101 on a night the clock struck midnight for the L.A. Lakers season. Welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles
Barkley. One
Barkley.
time before we start?
Yes.
Superman was in the building.
Rudy Gobert would have killed you. He would have dunked all over your head.
He would have ate you up tonight.
Why they fucking with Shaq like that?
You've been blocking your shot and ducking on your head on the other end. It would have been great.
Oh, man, he said he would have did that against any Laker at any time. That's what he said.
Same on to you, Rudy.
Very end. Here's what's going on Thursday. Another playoff doubleheader. We've got the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons in a 3-2 series. That Game 6 is in Detroit, and then the Nuggets and the Clippers in L.A., with the Clippers trying to stay alive against the Joker and company. Well, the Lakers' season was on the line, down 3-1 to the Timberwolves, Game 5 in L.A. Heading into the game, head coach J.J. Redick was asked about his team's mood. His answer, on edge, as we should be. And you certainly got the idea during Redick's pregame media availability that the first-year coach was feeling the heightened anxiety of an elimination game.
As you watch the film, what do you recall about your thought process in the moment? Sticking with the 5 you stuck with in the fourth quarter the other day. And is there an assistant or someone maybe that you'll lean on tonight, maybe to try to get, some other guys involved if that opportunity presents itself?
Are you saying that because I'm inexperienced and that was an inexperienced decision that I made? You think I don't talk to my assistants about substitutions every single timeout?
No, I just think there's a lot of coaches lean on their assistants in those situations.
As do I,
There's a lot going
every
on.
single time. That's a weird assumption.
Thank you, Coach.
And now to the highlights of Game 5.
Wow. This is his first playoffs, right?
Yeah, it's his first year as a head coach.
He always sensitive, experienced.
Rui Hachimura going left hand.
And that made Rudy mad.
Anthony Edwards taking it to the 10. 23-11 start, and then a sign of things to come. Rudy Gobert had himself a monster night.
He was engaged in the game on both ends of the floor. He understood the slots where he should be. Great game by Rudy Gobert.
He took total advantage of the Lakers' lack of size and just exploited it all night. Here goes Luka. Fouled by Dante DiVincenzo. And by Rudy, the call on Dante, and he grabs the back, and he's having trouble getting up. He shot his free throws and then headed to the locker room.
But like a good vet, your back only hurts on defense. It don't hurt on offense.
Halftime score was 59-49 Minnesota. Doncic connects for 3.
Doesn't hurt there, but
now it hurts there.
It hurts on defense. They win at him every single time.
Anthony Edwards gets the roll, 68-61. Rui Hachimura had a nice game.
Yeah, he did. He had timely shots. He tried to keep the Lakers in, played great defense, but just too small.
Yeah, he had 23. Luka, meantime, out of the corner. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, and for the first time in the evening, the Lakers have the lead.
Won't last long.
And they go Wilt Gobert.
Rudy ties the game at 79. And on the defensive end,
Get that out of here. Get that out of here.
David Gobertson.
Ooh, get that rebound.
DiVincenzo. There's Rudy again.
Oh, my goodness.
And Minnesota begins to pull away. Julius Randle had 23-11 in the fourth quarter. LeBron out of the corner and keeps him in at 93-91 as Kyrie looks on.
Why we show him?
Because he was watching the game.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Anthony Edwards in transition, 97-91.
Tomorrow, all of them together.
Rui still in it, down by 3. But look at the old reliable coming through. Mike Conley out of the corner for 3.
That's his spot right there in that corner.
And the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Lakers 103-96 and take the series in 5.
Rudy Gobert.
First time Minnesota's beaten the Lakers in a post-game series. They lost to the other one with home court.
24 fucking rebounds for Rudy Gobert.
And this one without home court, they taken 5 from the Lakers. Who do we have, TK, first?
J.J.
Here's J.J. Redick.
we executed great in the fourth quarter. Missed shots at the rim, missed a bunch of threes, shot 12 for 52 for the series in the fourth quarter from three. On top of that, you lose 2 games in Minnesota, minus 12 in scoring opportunities, minus 13, and then you lose by 20 tonight. Just too many turnovers, too many offensive rebounds, and I think given the struggles scoring the ball, particularly early in the series, there's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off. You could say, play a center. We couldn't score, so there's a trade-off to everything with this. But we obviously put ourselves in a position to be in the game 3 times in the fourth quarter and just came up short every time. But again, the offensive part of it tonight in particular was we missed wide open threes. We missed a couple shots at the rim. We got good looks.
We'll be monitoring JJ's comments. If there's anything else that we'd like to bring you, we shall do that. LeBron James, 5 points in the fourth quarter. Last 2 games scoreless in game 4 in the fourth. In the fourth quarter for the series, Minnesota was plus 42. Kind of reemphasizing the point that JJ Redick was making about how they had nothing going in the fourth quarter. And,
they just was too small. They should have put some side. Like Jackson Hayes.
I want to know what the story is with Jackson Hayes.
You can't put all those little guys out there because it was just a free fall on the offensive board and just going to the paint. And listen, I know he's a little sensitive right now because of the criticism he's taking, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, is the criticism fair? You shouldn't have played a 40-year-old guy because LeBron had nothing tonight. He was just selling for jump shots. He went to the basket a couple times. He was just selling for jump shot. I think when guys settle for jump shot, that's fatigue. And he didn't really play his bench a lot. He played 3 guys off the bench. This is what I don't understand. He played a guy who hadn't played since January.
Maxi Kleber.
Hadn't played since January. And so he really telling those other guys on the bench they suck. That's all he's saying. If you basically get a guy. Last game, you says, okay, you guys suck. I'm not going to put you in the game.
You suck.
Then he gets a guy who hadn't played since January and says, I trust him, a guy who hadn't played in a basketball game since January. I'd rather put him in the game than you guys.
And rather than Jackson Hayes, who has been a starter, even though he hasn't played a lot of minutes.
But
you're getting killed inside.
Yes.
Well, if you recall, Ernie, at the start of the series, my fear for the Lakers, where I said they believe their best lineup is when LeBron James is at the 4. And I don't think he can guard Julius Randle or guys that way. I think his superpower, I was saying, when he's at the 3, because then he's still physically intimidating. But Julius Randle, and as you move on, and you'd have to, all of a sudden you got to guard Aaron Gordon and all these different guys that are athletic 4s. I just thought that would be too much for a 40-year-old person because now his best attribute, now LeBron has been the best player in our generation at any position. But at this stage, 40 years old, he's a 3-man that can overpower smaller 3s. And you put him at the 4, and I thought that was a disadvantage. They have 2 of the top main players on their team, but let's just keep it real. They're not good enough. And it's unfortunate they're going to be like this for a while. They're not going to make any moves this summer. Got to pay 2 guys $50 million and up. So get used to this because when you have players of that caliber, it's championship or bust. So
that trade that did not go through in Charlotte,
Mark Williams,
that was huge for them because they would have been able to possibly.
If you would have played them,
stop. Are you serious? No, it would have helped them. Because he would have trusted you. So you know enough. You've seen enough of Mark Williams. No disrespect to Mark Williams. Yeah, Charlotte. You've seen enough of him that he would have been serviceable against Rudy Gobert tonight. Yes, without question.
Yeah. First of all, don't act like they was throwing to Rudy in the post.
Rudy got drop-offs because people were going and looking.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Right, but he's dropping
calling
over Finney Smith and dropping over Austin
But
Reeves.
but
instead of
gotta
dropping
react,
over a
if
7'1" guy.
Man, stop it.
You're not dropping over a
Stop it.
7'1".
As I tell you, listen.
You don't think the Lakers need size?
They need some size, but they
got size.
The Lakers need.
I mean, Jackson Hayes is a good young guy.
Mark Williams, you're not in a position of power. You're sitting at home, relax.
No, but he
down.
would have helped.
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know that. How's that working out for Charlotte?
Because Charlotte has holes in a lot of areas.
There's a hole. But
his area, he would have been a key contributor.
As I told you,
not good enough.
Them clowns on our
okay, all right.
Them guys will be.
If they're not good enough, what do they need?
They need number one. They got to get some more athletic ability. They can't guard anybody.
What?
And they're going to have to find somebody to cover for LeBron and Luka.
Cover which way?
Defensively, because LeBron don't play defense anymore.
Okay.
Luka can't guard a chair, and you're gonna have to have Wilt, Kareem, and Bill Russell back there blocking shots if they're gonna keep anybody in front of them.
This man said Luka can't guard a
First round
chair.
elimination for the second straight season in JJ Redick's first. And do not have a 2025 first round pick.
Luka got to get in better shape too.
Well, that's been a knock, but
it's been a knock. At some point, as a player, you can't have people saying that about you. You're an elite player, and you're getting ready to get $300-400 million. You can't say you got to get in shape to earn that money. You can't get on TV every day, and we all do it. He can't guard anybody.
Well, yeah, I think, but in Dallas, his game hasn't changed much. But what he did have is lively back there. And
I'm so glad you said that, Kenny.
But that's what I'm saying. He had those. That's what they were expecting Mark Williams to be.
But
him, the lob catcher, the rim protector, when guys are able to drive by, because the trade-off is you might get 20, but Luka might get 40.
See,
that's the trade-off.
This is a point I want to make about that Dallas situation. I thought a lot of the criticism for Nico I thought was a little unfair because, yeah, they made it to the finals last year with Kyrie and Luka, but that team was mediocre until Nico went out and got PJ, Gafford, and Lively.
Well, I think one of them was
and that took them to the next level.
Right.
So Nico did a fabulous job last year. We can talk about the trade this year, but last year, Luka's a hell of a player. Kyrie's a hell of a player. But until the Mavericks, you go back and look, they were in the bottom of the pile until he made those trades and got all those big guys. But at some point, you just can't go out and get big guys because he can't play no damn defense. He got to learn to play defense and get in shape.
I think you can learn a lot of things, but you can learn to get bigs before he'll learn to be a defensive stopper.
If you try getting in shape first, and then that would help.
Meantime, the Minnesota Timberwolves, 103-96.
I got something for you.
They get either Houston or Golden State in the Western Conference semifinals. That series still ongoing, and we'll have the highlights of Game 5 from Houston when we come back on Inside the NBA, live from Studio J in Atlanta.
They're going to the Western Conference Finals.
I don't know, man.
I know for a fact I am not like the rest of the guys in the NFL.
Talk your talk,
I know I'm a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
I know I'm a top 3 receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just got to bring that confidence, bring that spirit, and it's going to happen.
Making it to the NFL as a football player is one of the most lucrative yet most volatile career paths you could ever have. A lot of times players don't make it all the way through the NCAA into the NFL as a high draft pick. And even then, when you do make it into the NFL as a high draft pick, your success is anything but guaranteed. But there are